morning everyone. My name is Magendra. I'm from Team Challengers and our venture idea's name is Smart Trash Cans. The most important part of a business is the problem we solve. So what problem are we going to solve as a company? In India, it is common to see trash cans overflowing, either due to lack of collection or the workers must adhere to a fixed schedule, so they will not be able to go to a place immediately if a trash can is overflowing. What they actually do is, they collect trash cans which are not even half full. This wastes time, energy and money. Do you know how many diseases spread due to overflowing trash cans? It's more than 40. Not only do overflowing trash cans make the place look like a mess, there are also poor animals like dogs and cows who feed on the waste and suffer from problems like plastic ingestion. Especially during the pandemic, overflowing medical waste is a serious hazard. We solve this by making trash cans smart. Our trash can will be able to alert the waste collectors when the can is going to get filled. With 3 levels of laser sensors at 33%, 66% and 100%, they will analyze the volume of the waste. To maximize accuracy, we also have a weight sensor. They both will work together and find when the trash can is going to get filled. So what they do is they get an optimum route for waste collection, ensuring least energy and time spent. Now, you may think that there's nobody to collect waste actually. So even if the waste collector does not make it in time, our trash can will have a hemisphere attached to it. As you can see here, if the trash can is going to overflow, the hemisphere is going to catch the waste, and so when the waste collector comes, he has to just detach the hemisphere, pour it in his bin, making it a hygienic way of waste collection as well. Who needs this? India generated about 646,000 million metric tons of waste in 2019, and as per a report, just 38% of it was collected and less than 6% was treated. If our cans are implemented across India, we expect the numbers to go as high as 62% and up to 10% waste treated. This is not only needed by big cities, there are also like college campuses, industries, apartments, zoos, theme parks, basically any place which centrally collects waste needs us. Rather than having like 10 to 15 people to collect waste for a large campus, with our technology and our app, just 2 to 3 people will be able to cover a large area. There are also private waste management companies who can be our customers, as we'll be able to save cost for them. So what does our product offer to a place which has us? It is a hygienic and neat way of waste collection, as in the workers need not touch the waste with their hand even if it overflows. They just have to detach the hemisphere and pour it in. Saves time, energy and money. Tackles COVID-19. How does it do that? They need not enter a containment zone or in COVID ward or in hospital if they need to collect waste. They have to ensure they can be well prepared to collect waste when they have to enter to collect waste. It helps increase the quality of work for waste collectors and protects domestic animals. This makes us more like a social startup which can generate revenue if needed. How do we market? In 1 month, you'll see this implemented and working in SSN College of Engineering Chennai and Shivnara University Chennai. When people see that it's working and doing whatever we said it's going to do, and it's going to save money, time and energy, people are going to want it in their campuses too. We're going to start by partnering with private waste management companies and offer them services of retrofitting our tech to existing trash cans. This way we don't waste the already existing trash cans. They give us a trash can, we'll be able to fix our tech, and using our app, the waste collectors will be able to use it. As we move on, when we get enough funds, either through investment or through revenue, we'll start our own manufacturing unit and offer services of customizing trash can, either through size, color, design or through features. And we make sure to launch new functional innovations every 6 months like waste segregation, smart panels, etc. Once our customers get the feel that a trash can do more than just collect trash, is then we're going to launch our individual trash can models. Just imagine if you could replace each and every trash can in every household with a good product, how big a market that is. We want to make a brand in trash cans. If you look at our competitors, although the idea of having sensors has been tried before, none of them have been accurate enough. Even if they have been accurate enough, they have just been too expensive to commercialize. Our product is accurate and affordable. there are no direct corporate competitors in this space of waste management. Although they have their own versions of trash cans, they do not do functional innovations regularly. And when we do functional innovations every 6 months, we'll get hired of them. Now you might think that this does not change the mindset of Indian people to not throw trash in trash cans. Actually, the main reason for them throwing waste outside is either because they don't find a trash can or they didn't want to. With our technology, the waste collection cost is going to be reduced drastically. So they can have more trash cans in an area and people will find trash cans more frequently. For not throwing in trash cans, it just comes through generations. So we inspire the younger generation through implementing this in college campuses. So when the next generation comes up, they know that the trash can is a place to throw trash and they have to throw it there. Our mission is to make, that is exactly our vision. Our mission is to make this technology available and affordable to everyone. Starting to our investment part, we'll be needing an investment of 30 lakhs to set up our office in Chennai and offer services of retrofitting, which is in 2022 in the statement slide I said. We'll need about 34% of it for manpower, 46% for other expenses, 19% for rent and 1% for showcasing our prototype. How do we make money? As I said, we are a social startup. If we want to generate revenue, it will be a business-to-business model, which can turn into a business-to-customer model when we launch our individual trash can model. Service contracts. If needed, we could generate revenue through service contracts. New product every 6 months. Let's say, for example, we just launched our waste segregation unit. We'll offer to the customers whom we already sold our trash can that we'll be able to fix this panel inside the trash can we already sold to them. This way, we'll be able to continue generating revenue from our existing customers. We did a small calculation. The Chennai city needs 40,000 dustbins to cover all areas. Targeting just about 10% sales in our first year, we'll be able to get a revenue of almost 3.6 crores, giving the profit of 32 lakhs. The team. We're from different domains of engineering, making sure we execute this correctly. For our MVP, Adyan is an EC student. He'll be taking care of the sensors. And he'll continue as a product lead and technical lead. Jamil is a 2D student. He'll be taking care of the circuit parts. Sailesh is an ID student. He'll be taking care of the app. Nitesh is a civil engineering student. He's a designer. He makes 2D and 3D models for us. And I have some experience in running a business. So I'll be the business and marketing head of the company. What have we won so far as a team and with this idea? We're shortlisted among top 30 startup ideas by IIM Ahmedabad. Selected for one-to-one mentoring for 1 month by IIT Bombay. Shortlisted for incentives loan by REIGMA, making changes to the minority, that is waste collectors. Shortlisted among top 10 startup ideas by Shivnara University Delhi. And won over 10 plus awards in various technical symposiums by inter colleges. Thank you. We need to make this country cleaner. If we don't, who will? Thank you. We are open to questions.
Thank you for your presentation. First thing I would like to know is that how does your weight sensor work? It can be attached on top of an existing dustbin, or are you providing customized dustbins for the purpose?
As a start, in our first stage, when we partner with private waste management companies, let's say a college gives us a dustbin, we'll be able to fix our sensors in it and give it back to them. That's our first stage. Customizing trash cans is our second stage. Once we get enough funds, we'll be able to manufacture our own trash can with the technology attached to it.
So the question is, how does it really know that how much is the weight inside the dustbin?
Yes, sir. So we have 3 levels of laser sensors. For example, the usual working is if the 100% level sensor gets filled, it should send an alert. But our trash can does not do that. It will look at the weight sensor and 33% and 66%, and they will work together. Let's say, for example, something is blocking the 100% level sensor.
So sorry to interrupt. is it a height-based sensor or is it a weight-based sensor?
The laser sensors will find the volume of the waste, and the weight sensor will find the weight.
Oh, so you have both of them integrated.
Both working together, sir.
So again, coming back to the original question, where do you place the weight sensor?
It will be at the bottom of the trash can.
So trash cans may be of variety of types. There may be one type where the entire base is sitting on the ground.
Yes, sir.
And there will be another which has kind of periphery.
Exactly.
So where would you place them?
If you can see, our trash can will also have the hemisphere. So the hemisphere, the weight sensor will be between the hemisphere and the trash can.
Okay. All right. All right. Next question is that you mentioned in one of your slides that in Chennai you need 40,000 dustbins for 50 households. Did I read it correctly?
To cover every 50 households.
Isn't it like too big a number? 40,000 dustbins for 50 households?
Sir, like households as in, we are talking about the community dustbins, the big ones which are placed in the roads. So let's say we take an apartment with 56 houses, it's considered as one household.
All right. So maybe do you mean to say that there are 40,000 such communities which cater to 50 households each? Like one dustbin caters to 50 households and you need 40,000 such dustbins. Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One last question I have is that do you plan to link it to Google Maps or some other similar platform to facilitate the optimal route for the the garbage collection?
The first part of the question I'll answer. What our can does it does not alert someone when it gets filled. It will alert someone when it is going to get filled. So then the Google Maps part, I guess.
So we'll be using the Google Maps API for this, not any extra. We'll be using the Google Maps.
Okay, because I see that there could be a significant potential to optimize the route and time spent in collecting the waste. Okay, so thank you very much. That's all from me. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Can you please go back to the architecture, the first slide? Yeah, okay. The next one. Okay. So you mentioned there are 3 laser sensors that you are going to use. So each of these 3 will detect different labels of the trash. Do I understand it right? Okay. And there will be one weight sensor. So the overall system is made out of 3 laser sensors and 1 weight sensor. Okay. Now, what will the total cost of the entire system?
We have estimated it to be around 7,500 for retrofitting, sir.
Sorry, say again.
7,500.
7,500.
All sensors and the hemisphere included for retrofitting
per dustbin.
per dustbin.
And have you done any sort of cost calculations post that once you how will you convince the authorities or the private companies whoever you are approaching to, how will you convince them to make this investment into the dustbins?
There are some operational costs like app posting and like electricity for the dustbins. But what we tell to our customers is that rather than having like 10 people for a big place, with just very little manpower and very little energy of they spend, they'll be able to cover larger areas of waste collection.
Can you you talked about the battery? I wanted to ask about that. What is the voltage requirement? What kind of power source will you need?
Yeah, we'll be connecting it to the street lights. So from the electricity grid, the pins will get powered.
Okay, fine. So again, can you help me understand how finally, how will it save the time as you mentioned?
Yes, sir.
That is a USP of your system.
Yes, sir. Let's take IIT Gandhinagar for example, sir. It's a very large campus, and let's say this place has at least 400 dustbins. Let's say somebody is assigned to collect waste. What he should do is he should make sure to collect each and every dustbin at least once in 3 days. So With our model in place, he need not do that. One person can't collect every dustbin once in 3 days. They need at least some people to do that. But with this in place, that does not happen. If some dustbin is getting filled once in a month, they have to collect it just once in a month.
Normally, see, if you talk about the operational, efficiency of this, there is something that I wanted to, bring out with my question, that the time depends on the density of the dustbin, or the length, or the distance between two dustbin. What do you like? What have you thought about?
There's a meeting happening here. Like a lot of people are coming to this auditorium. Immediately, dustbin here might get filled. Or let's say some big seminar is happening, or some cricket match is happening in a cricket stadium. That dustbin is going to get filled.
Okay.
So rather than just the size of the dustbin and the distance between two dustbins, there are many other factors, human factors, which are unpredictable.
I think good issue you are handling out about it. One question I had was, do you think your customers will pay 7,500 or so for retrofitting? Have you experimented in terms of customers' interest?
I said, this being a social startup, our main customers would be government and NGOs. But if you talk about the basic salary of a waste collector, it's 8,000 in Chennai. I'm not sure about Ahmedabad. But people are paid a lot more in colleges. I'm not telling you like not fire them, but you see some places use waste collection cars, or they have big lorries. If the price at which petrol is selling now, if you're gonna save at least even about 10 liters of petrol per month, it's gonna save money for them in the long term. Not in 1 year maybe, but in another 4 to 5 years surely.
Thank you.
But I think the system you are proposing is not emptying the dustbin, right? The manpower of people will still be required to emptying the dustbin. It is just giving you the alert. So how
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that related? You just respond.
Yeah, it does not empty the dustbin. It will just help reduce waste collection cost, not with manpower necessarily, through the cost which they use to collect waste.
One more thing I would like to ask, what about considering the Indian scenarios, the post-launch services? So there might be chances, because many times you will find dustbins are there, everything is there, but then cow, dog, there are animals which will spill all the trash in that. So how will you take care of that aspect?
The hemisphere will have a tight lip which will prevent animals like dogs and cows from getting anywhere near the dustbin. As I said in the problem statement, if you remember, we also have to save domestic animals. When waste overflows, the hemisphere will have a tight lip which will not prevent the animals from putting their mouths in the waste or getting anywhere near the dustbin and damaging it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you, judges. Thank you, ma'am.